Don't you love that story? And you want to know more, I'm sure. Well, adding more intrigue to the Culper spy story through some personal family archives is the author of Missing Links to the Culper Spy Ring, Bernadine Fawcett. And Bernadine, I am just loving talking to you. I'm just sorry we can't do a whole show chatting about all your interests. But you have this book, and it's really important to note the question mark because you feel you may have discovered another part of this spy ring. But tell me, why did you put the book together?
Well, I wanted to share it with the public. Some 230 years of history was just sitting in an attic.
Your attic?
In my attic, decomposing.
And that's a whole bunch of letters that you found. Or not found, they've been passed down.
Yes, and they have been passed down through the family, through marriage. I'm not a direct descendant, but I have met direct descendants since I finished this book.
And these descendants of yours, you think might have been part of the Culper spy ring?
Yes, the letters were written by Reverend Andrew Elliott in Fairfield, Connecticut, and that is where the Culper spy ring ended up when Caleb Brewster went over to Fairfield, Connecticut. Now, the reason for that was that the Hudson was blocked through the entire Revolutionary War by the British soldiers. So they couldn't go directly from New York up. They had to go across from New York, across Long Island, over to Strong Nut Cove with Caleb Brewster taking the information over, and it had to be then recouped in Fairfield, Connecticut. And Reverend Andrew Elliott was writing his father letters about what was going on, and General Parsons was staying there with him. And he said, well, General Parsons got intelligence from the Sound every single day. So if you go to Benjamin Talmage memoirs, you're going to find that Benjamin Talmage, Caleb Brewster, and General Parsons did a foray together here on Long Island. And there is part of your connection. Then the information went to Mamaroneck and Westchester and wherever George Washington was. He was always stationed for the most of the time above the Hudson River, okay? And they went up that way. Also, he talks, Reverend Andrew Elliott speaks, tells his father about the campsite that General Washington is in and how he's living in the same way as his soldiers.
And how would he have known this if he wasn't an insider?
Right. And how did he know troop movement, how much supplies, all kinds of information, detailed information as to what was going on. So he was also connected to Thaddeus Burr, who had a home just down the road. Actually, if you go to Fairfield, Connecticut, it's still there, and you can see it. It was burnt down, but they replicated it after they burnt down the whole town of Fairfield, Connecticut, because the British knew that this was a hive of information. I noticed that you had Penny Morton, am I saying his name right? Morton Pennypacker.
Pennypacker,
okay.
Right.
And he speaks about the conclave, the spy conclave in Fairfield, Connecticut. So if you start connecting all the dots, it's pretty evident that he was very much involved.
Well, it's fascinating to read it on many levels because you actually even have the actual letters here that you can you can look through and see the handwriting and see the way they spelled words and try to decipher these different clues that you've come about. And it really is fascinating, and I know it took you a long time to do it. And we thank you for putting this all together for us.
Well, you're welcome. I was glad to do it.
Well, for more information about the Culper spy ring, and I'm sure you're going to want to learn more, and Bernadine's book, where you can read these letters, you can visit our website. Up next, an award-winning children's television show takes its act on the road.